Hello, welcome to another wonderful edition of the Analytical Rumbles here in Corwave TV. I remain the host, Anchor Chigozie Ndibo. Please kindly hit the subscription button if you have not subscribed to this, and please give us a thumbs up, of course, to this video so that others will be able to access and view, of course, appreciate what we're doing. In today's edition, we shall be looking, of course, on the subjects uh, and controversial subject matter, of course, hitting the economic and political sphere ever since the inauguration of the new dispensation under, of course, Bola Ahmed TINUBU, GCFR. And the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has opposed the plan by the president, Bola Tinubu, to enforce his predecessor's decision to remove fuel subsidy by June ending. Wow, this is the latest development. Earlier on during his inaugural speech in Abuja, Tinubu confirmed that his administration would not continue to pay subsidy on petroleum products. According to him, given the high cost opportunity the federal government was suffering to fund subsidy, it was no longer justifiable to continue. Really? Well, the first subsidy is gone, according to him. Tinubu exclaimed during his inaugural address at Eagle Square, Abuja, shortly after he was, of course, sworn in as the 16th president of Nigeria. Now, according to the incumbent president, GCFR, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he said that subsidy can no longer justify its ever-increasing costs in the wake of drying resources. Wow, we shall instead rechannel the fund into better investment in public infrastructure, education, healthcare, and jobs that will materially improve the lives of millions. Wow, that sounds wonderful. But then that remains a subject of controversy. And now that the independent, of course, Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has opposed such a position, could that, of course, be an end or the beginning of a very strong labor battle with this government? Well, for what reason should the Independent National or Independent Marketers Association, Petroleum Association, should uh, oppose such move? The reason being that they said that the president need to dialogue with them and reach a compromise, possibly uh, agree on the benchmark or terms and conditions. Meanwhile, is the IPMAN, as they are known, of course, considering the plight of the people or their own personal gains. That becomes fundamental. Are they only interested in their own benefits? According to the National Public Relations Officer, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria Chief Okadike Chinedu said the new government should dialogue with marketers before taking the decision to remove subsidy. Really, it's not even considering the economic importance or economic mishap it might have on Nigerians. They are just interested in their own, to protect their own interests and market. Well, that is so unfortunate. I think the people must rise to hold the government accountable. And if this policy would better the lot of the citizenry, I don't think the government need to dialogue with a private body, so to say, in deciding whether to do what is needful for the benefit of all as sundry. We are not in support of the removal of fuel subsidy at this time, just because you have been benefiting from such at the expense of the Nigerian masses. Now that the president said, well, we are going to, of course, do away with the regime of subsidy. Meanwhile, subsidy was captured in 2023 budgets until the half of 2023, being the end of June. So from July, there will be no subsidy. I think that is the position the president, incumbent president, is trying to make. And meanwhile, pending on the when the subsidy that was paid, about 3.6 trillion naira to cover from January 2023 to June, the end of June 2023, let the people have some heave of relief, some sign of relief. And this is very important. Within this window, I think the government and the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria can dialogue with the president, uh, whatever interest they think they may want to bring to the table. But the reality is that Nigeria, in the midst of these dry resources, cannot afford to continue to subsidize. By subsidizing, it means, of course, money going into the pockets of these independent petroleum marketers. And unfortunately, that has not in any way, of course, augured well. If they want to do business, they should prepare to do business. And of course, let them build refineries rather than uh, going to import refineries at such a exorbitant cost. I think that should be what they should be discussing with the president. How can the president help them to float refineries so that they can meet the local uh, consumption, of course, supply, and not the reverse? If they insist that the government should continue the payment of subsidy, then it is only to serve their, of course, peculiar motives or ulterior motives that is not in the interest of the masses. The government of President TINUBU should not adopt what is in the transition document handed over to him by the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari. Well, Buhari attempted to do such, but for reasons best known to him, he decided to defer as such undertakings, possibly wishing that his predecessor could step into his shoe, as of course is much anticipated, as slightly claimed by the president, that is going to step into the shoe of his predecessors. Possibly this could be the reason why, in of course, a few minutes after swearing in, he took an oath of office. That was the breaking news. Of course, he has to bring to the fore. And well, whatever that might be, but we understood that the priority of people's welfare or the citizens' welfare should be paramount and should be the first point of consideration in any policy formation or implementation. It should have, of course, the impact assessment of such a policy on the economic and the psychology of the average Nigerians or people resident within this country. Otherwise, they might be making a total blunder. So I think that is very important that the government should be very articulate at all times, being able to convey whatever idea or policy he may want, of course, to implement before, so that the public would be acquainted with the details or the content of such policies to avoid being misunderstood as the case is in this subsidy removal. There is still subsidy until the end of June as being captured in 2023 budget. Yes. Then after June 30th or the end of June, then whatever happens, if the government do not review his stance before then it means that the subsidy regime is gone, and it's gone for good, if I may say. But then the government has to prove otherwise, and the sincerity and commitment and the political will, of course, to refarm the already moribund refineries that have gutted off over $30,000 billion as a turnaround maintenance, and yet the refineries are still turning around without any, of course, progress in sight. But hopefully, we hope that as the mantle of leadership, of course, has rested on President TINUBU Ahmed, we hope that he would seize this opportunity to prove his critics wrong, or possibly affirm their skepticism. Whatever be the case, becomes, of course, a history. I will leave you with these few words. Please don't forget to make your comments, observations known through the comment section, and like or give us a thumbs up. Hit the subscription button as we continue to keep you abreast with the latest happenings, of course, here in Nigeria.